Bawumia is still in studio with us, Dennis Miracles Aboagye. Dennis, before we went on the break, I was asking you about something Kennedy Japan said, that bring everybody back on board, even the people that you have suspended, grant them an amnesty. That would be quite difficult to do if you look at the relationship between the party and some of these people, their Focus, Alan Chemating, all these people. That would be very difficult to do.
I mean, there's nothing difficult about granting an amnesty in a political party and getting a lot of people on board. I mean, that is the advocacy. That is the position of the party anyway.
Okay.
That is the position. However, you know, you grant amnesty to, he's asking that we grant amnesty to those we have suspended. But if you look at it critically, it's not all the names he mentioned that are suspended by the party.
Okay.
So you cannot grant amnesty to somebody who willingly resigned from the party. I mean, Mr. Alan Chemating was not suspended. In fact, he had nobody in the party had an issue with him. He willingly decided to leave the party and go form another political party. And so, for him, amnesty doesn't really apply to him. He would have to say, I am willing to come back. And the party is ready.
The party is ready to welcome him.
Yes, I mean, a political party needs a lot of people, a lot of numbers. And so, as many people that would want to come, who wouldn't want everybody coming on board? And so it's a call that everybody in the party agrees to, and it's a call that the national leadership also agrees to. And I think the party has already indicated its open door readiness to receive everybody and let everybody get on board. But of course, not all the names he mentioned on suspension. Mr. Polafoko has not been suspended from the party. He's still a member of the MPP, so he hasn't left the party. His issue only had to do with the position he was holding, okay, but he wasn't suspended. Okay. You remember it was together with Mr. Kwabena Japan. And Mr. Kwabena Japan has been one of the biggest advocacy of this party since then. He was not suspended from the party. It was with his position at the time. So Polafoko is still a member of the party. He hasn't been suspended from the party. Alan Chemating has not been suspended from the party. He has left the party to go and form another political party. But just the position of the party across the country is that everybody that is willing and ready and believes in the ideologies of the new patriotic party, the party is ready to
Alan returns today, NPP would welcome him.
Why not? We are still waiting. If General Mosquito should leave the NDC and come to the MPP, would receive him.
How
much more? It can happen. Why not? We've seen a lot of people, big shots, leave their parties and form new political parties. So that is possible.
Some people say that this thank you tour is using the party structures to prepare the ground for Dr. Bawumia to return in the next flag bearer elections.
Every thank you tour in all political parties, since the time, I mean, let me just recollect from 2009, has always had this controversy. So this is not new. I am just looking at the story here. Nana, thank you tour not to test Akufo-Addo's popularity, MPP, 16 September 2013. Nanalu using thank you tour to test his popularity, MPP, 22nd September 2013. So it's normal. The NDC in 2017, people like Dr. Dofo and Co also had an issue with Mr. Mahama when he was doing his thank you tour. It's normal. It's something that always comes with it. But the fact of the matter is that you would always have the flag bearer of the immediate ended elections being the face of the thank you tour. Because what are we doing? We are thanking the people for stepping out to come and vote for us. Right. Who did they come to vote for? It's the flag bearer. And so surely you should expect the flag bearer to be out there thanking the people, even without the party. In fact, this is the first time in any of even the political parties that you've had the flag bearer actually say that I want to join hands with the National Party and also all aspirants within the internal elections to go on the thank you tour. This is the first time. Okay. Typically, it is just the flag bearer who is going out there to thank people for queuing to vote for him. And so it's nothing new. But the controversy is also not a new thing. It's always been there. It's an age-long controversy that always comes with, thank you tours.
All right, I'm grateful to you, Dennis. Dennis Miracles Aboagye is aide to the NPP flag bearer for the 2024 general elections, Dr. Bawumia. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Away from that, rainstorm swept through parts of Ghana. Bawumia 2024 campaign team and presently an aide to the former president, Dennis Miracles Aboagye. Grateful to you, Dennis, for joining us here on the ChannelOne Newsroom.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you again.
On a wet evening.
We're grateful that you are able to join us.
Sure.
This tour, one may ask, what's the point? I mean, the flag bearer lost the election, so what's the thank you tour all about? Why do you need to go on a tour to thank people?
I mean, several reasons. You know, even as part of our Ghanaian custom, gratitude is a very, very important thing for every Ghanaian. And so if you go into an election like we did in 2024, and you have over 4.8 million Ghanaians queuing to vote for you, and you clock 41.75% of the votes, I think it's proper and fair for you to go back to these people and say thank you for showing that faith in a vision that I shared and the proposals that I made. As part of the thank you tour is to also engage our party folks to reorganize, rebuild and restructure. And so you realize that even this thank you tour is coming after the party is done with its review process. Okay. And so as at now, you don't just go and speculate. You go meeting the people knowing exactly what the issues were. And the whole essence of the review was not to compile lamentations and complaints. The review was for us to see what we did right, what we could have done better, and what we need to do going into the future. And so armed with all of these information, now we can engage the party people, the general populace across the country, and start the rebuilding process. This is something that has also become a convention in our political dispensation. I mean, which year? In the year 2009, when Nana Akufo-Addo lost the 2008 elections, he had to embark on a thank you tour. In 2013, he embarked on a thank you tour for the people's support in 2012. In 2016, when President Mahama lost, he had to go on a thank you tour. In 2020, he had to do it. It's simply to express gratitude to the people. I mean, whether you lose or win, remember that there were millions of people who believed in your vision, who spent energy, time, and resources to support your proposition for the country's development. And you must go to them and express gratitude to them.
Right. But it looks like this is going to be quite eventful. It's early days yet into this tour, and already the flag bearer is making the headlines. I mean, he mentioned Arrogance of Power, DDEP, a host of other reasons for which he believes that the party lost the elections. He says based on some research that the party has conducted. I mean, it's mind-boggling that the NPP knew all these things. Your party faithful had complained to you about these things, and yet you ignored them all through the 4 years, and you lost miserably in the election. How are the people supposed to keep faith with you now?
I think with the benefits of hindsight, we are all wise. You know that. With the benefits of hindsight, everybody is wiser. And what the former Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, is basically saying that having done the review, having moved across the country, listened to the people and heard the people, it is quite obvious that there are certain things we could have done better. And if you have a leader that is able to admit such shortfalls, then that is a leader you can trust. Because that is a leader that acknowledges that once you acknowledge your challenge, you are like 50% solving it. Because then you're going to be more receptive to the propositions to deal with it. And so he's basically telling the party people what all of us, not just one individual, but all of us as a party in government failed to do, which contributed, not entirely all the reasons, but contributed to our loss. And I mean, high cost of living is something that everybody acknowledges. When we're in power, we're even acknowledging high cost of living. He himself, Dr. Bawumia, acknowledged high cost of living, for which reason he made certain proposals to deal with that from 2025 going. He's also always had issues with A-levy. Yeah. And he's on public record indicating that he doesn't think that we should, under any circumstance, place any form of taxes or levies on digital transactions. And so if he's outlining these things, having come out as some of the reasons for our loss, I think it's a way to go. It's a better way to rebuild as an organization than to gloss over them and pretend as if they didn't exist. And if you sit in these party meetings, you realize that once these things are highlighted and come up, the party people receive them better, because then they feel that, oh, we have actually come to the realization that these things that we may have ignored in the past actually contributed to our loss. And so moving forward, how do we deal with it? So moving forward, how to deal with it is also captured in our review document. But that is not something for public consumption, because you have your competitors in the market. So we are going to look at that, and then it will serve as a guide going into the future to make our party stronger in our next government.
He also did mention that some of the utterances of the contestants in the flag bearership race was used against the party. I mean, we saw adverts, commercials of, especially Kennedy Japong, some of the things he said against Dr. Bawumia and the administration being used against your party during the campaign. What's the relationship between Dr. Bawumia and Kennedy Japong, and how is it going to look like going forward?
Dr. Bawumia is a complete unifier. He has one of the biggest hearts a human being can have, as I've seen. And so you'd realize that even before he embarked on this tour with the party national executives, he called for every single party person to get on board, and actually sent out a direct invitation to all the party leaders he contested with in the 2023 primaries. He has a fantastic relationship with every single party member. He doesn't bear grudges. He doesn't hold issues against individuals and persons. He has a very open mind, very receptive to all manner of criticism. The only advocacy Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is making is that usually when we are going for internal contest, and as it is with every political contest, you surely have to throw in one or two jabs. You have to do a few negative things to be able to look better than the opponent. And he is of the view that that is not the only way to run a contest, and that you can run contests purely on ideas and still succeed. And so if you're going into an internal contest and you throw a lot of mud at ourselves as party people, all we are doing is to arm our main opponent. Because in all of these things, in the internal contest, no MPP member is your competitor. Our real competitor in the political dispensation in this country is the NDC. And so he's only advocating, and he's on a very active advocacy against internal mud throwing at each other. Not just at their level, even from the polling station level, through the electoral area, region, constituency. Let's just protect each other and see each other as brothers and sisters who belong to the same fraternity, and rather set our eyes on the NDC, who are our competitors. And when that happens, we minimize and reduce the level of ammunition we give to our main competitor. Because otherwise, when you are done with the internal contest and you all rally together, your competitor now basically holds all the ammunition you threw at each other, and they will simply be throwing them at you, and it becomes very, very difficult for you to get yourself out of it. And I think that from today's engagement, it is the biggest takeaway for us as a political party. The fact that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is advocating that we should reduce the level of damage we do to ourselves when we are going for internal contests, so that we do not harm our opponents. That is the way to strengthen our party going into the future.
Right. So now you're engaging party supporters, party faithfuls. That group is quite easy to convince because they are yours. But there is a chunk of the floating voters who did not vote for you, for which reason you lost the elections. What's the strategy going forward to mend the bridge between the NPP and the floating voters?
If you read the invitation, the notice we put out, it's not just the party people the events we are holding across the regions are not invitation-only events. So today, for instance, in Takrady, you have market women, you have some fisher folks, you have some driver unions all coming to the event and also expressing their views about some of the issues. So it is not just an MPP event. Of course, you have the MPP fraternity from the polling station, constituency, regional level coming, but the general public is not and stopped from attending this event. And today's engagement in the Western region saw a lot of the general public from different groupings participating in the conversation as well.
All right, we'll take a breather now. When we return, I'll ask you about something Kennedy Japong said at the engagement today. Okay. We talked about giving amnesty to all the people that have been suspended in the party, like essentially asking the party to bring everyone on board going forward. We'll discuss that when we return. But you're still watching the Channel One newsroom here on Channel One TV. When we come back, Accra sanitation workers face daunting challenges over delayed salaries and low wages. We'll be back shortly. Please stay with us.